and welcome to my channel. The video I'm making today is going to be a birthday card. This is a birthday card for my oldest daughter Jennifer, whose birthday is today. This card features some punches to create flowers, and I have a few rhinestone accents, and I've done a little bit of embossing. It looks more difficult than it actually is, and I hope you'll try it. Let me clear these things away and show you the materials that I need for this card. Alright, let me go over the paper first. I have a card base cut 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. A black mat cut 5 1/4 by 4. 2 white panels which are cut 5 by 3 3/4. I have a scrap of purple which is cut 2 by 3. A white square which is 2 inches. I needed some light purple scrap. This is about 1 inch wide. And some green scrap. This is 3 inches by 8.5. The inks I'm going to be using today is Versafine Onyx Black. And I'm also going to be using Versamark, which is a watermark stamp. Additionally, I'm going to use a Versamark pen called Versamarker. I'm going to be using the Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen, and I need a green and purple Wink of Stella glitter pen. I'm going to be using Tombow ink today, glue today, sorry. I will also need some glue dots and some pop dots. If you don't have this, you can use foam tape, of course. And I'm also going to be using Hero Art Shadow Ink Passion Flower, which is a very pretty purple. For the flowers, I'm going to need a foam pad. I have this Stampin Up matte pack, which I got. This has a hard piece which lets you cut, and it has a template which lets you make circles, holes for like brads and things, and it has a foam mat for punching. So I will also be using the piercing tool, oops, by Stampin Up, but I'm only going to be using this side of it. The stamps I'm using today is Delicate Pattern Stamp Set, by Hot Off the Press, Stampin Up Petite Petals, Papillion Potpourri, Edgy Eloquence, and also Something to Celebrate. It seems like a lot, but it's going to be okay, trust me. I'm also going to be doing some punching, so I have the small flower punch by Stampin Up, the Elegant Butterfly punch, and the small butterfly punch. And the last punch I need is a large branch punch. This is by Fiskars. So let me clear these things away, and I will jump right into showing you how to put the card together. The first thing I'm going to do is the embossing. And since I'm going to be embossing, I need to have my embossing buddy to get all the fingerprints and oil marks off of the paper to make sure that the embossing powder doesn't stick where I don't want it to stick. So I'm going to go all over, even though the embossing is going to be focused on the top. Let me give this a shake to get the little extra bits off. Okay. Now I have already mounted my stamps. I have a corner intricate detail from the Delicate Design stamp set, and I'm going to put it in both corners of this paper, about 1/4 inch in from the edge. And I'm also using my stamp mat so I could get a better press with the photopolymer stamps. Now I've turned it upside down so that I can get the other corner. And now I have the happy birthday. And you won't see any of this, but it'll be visible once the embossing powder goes on. All right. Let me set this aside for a moment. I have a coffee filter which I use to emboss in, so that once I finish I can just pour the embossing powder right back into the jar. So you just pour it right over the top, and a little powder goes a long way. You're going to get a lot of uses out of the little jars of embossing powder. At first when you see how small it is, it's a little bit disheartening, but really it really lasts a long time. And I'll just tap off the excess, and there you see it. Give it a good little flick on the back. And there is still a few pieces where the embossing powder is sticking where I don't want it. So I'm going to take a clean paintbrush and just knock that right off carefully. Okay. Set this aside for just a moment. Now I need to emboss what I've done so far. So I'm getting my heat tool, and the best way to emboss is to let your heat tool heat up for a few seconds before you use it. Your embossing will go a lot faster and you have less warping of your paper. Okay. When you have embossed it enough, you will visibly see the embossing raise up and change color. So just keep your gun moving, and this will keep you from burning your embossing powder. It's a very quick time to burn it if you hold the gun too long. And as you can see, I'm moving it pretty quickly. And that's all it needed. Give this just a few seconds to dry, because it's still soft, and if you touch it right away you can move it. Hold it up so you can see. Sorry, here's my little friend the shadow. Oh. Okay, now that I have that, I want to connect these two elements. So I've got my ruler and taking my Versamark. It has 2 points. One is a large point and one is a small point. We're going to be using the small point for this today. So I'm going to just take my ruler and line it up between the two elements, straight as I can get it, and just connect them with the Versapen. Okay. And you can't see that very well, but now that I have it, spread some more embossing powder over that. And there you go. Connected it. Now I'm going to knock this little, and I have to be careful so that I don't accidentally take away my connecting that I just did. Okay, now heat this up real quick, and this will go fast also because the heat gun is still hot from before. And done. See? Alright, I have to let that dry. So let me clear this up and move on to the next step. Now it's time to do some of the punching. So with the purple, I'm going to punch out 5 flowers here. And I'm going to punch out 4 of the leaves with this punch. Now I want to add some detail to these stamps. So the first thing I know that I want 3 facing to the left and 1 facing to the right. So I'm going to make the leaves to be going in the right direction. 3 that way and 1 the other way. Now, using my stamp mat, I'm going to take my bone folder and crease down the center carefully of this leaf, and that will give it a little bit of texture if I get it right. With my shaky hands, I think I'm going to have to do this without my mat. So this will give the appearance of leaves of the veins of the leaves. I don't know if you could see it very well, but it makes it have a little bit of a dimension. So let's do this one. And now for the leaves, I'm going to take the shimmer glitter pen and go down the crease to give it even more interesting looks. And for the flower, I'm going to start in the center and go out to each of the petals. And now here's where the foam mat comes in. Get my foam mat in the back of my piercing tool and just press in the center of each flower. And that makes it sort of cuppy a little bit. Yes, I just made a word, cuppy. Alrighty. Now I'm going to assemble these pieces, and it's very simple and cut and dry. So I'm going to let the music that my brother provided me play and just speed it up, and you can just watch the card come together. that's the finished card. I had a couple of extra flowers, so I popped up a little bit extra ones, and this one a little lost his little face there. Get back there, guy. What are you doing? Okay. So I think I'm going to pop another one because I have one more. So I think I'll put another one right there after the video is over. But that's the card. Very simple, and I think it's really, really pretty. I hope you'll try it yourself. Please, if you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, let me know down in the comment section, and I'll give you the contact information for my Stampin' Up! Demonstrator who makes excellent videos. Her name is Frances Martin. I'll have a link to her blog down below. Thanks for watching. I'd like to thank my brother David for the music that he provides for my video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're enjoying the talented music that he provides in many different formats. Take care. Please subscribe to my channel. Pass the word. I put out content pretty frequently, and I really would like to get those numbers up, get more subscribers. So help me out, please. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye. Oh, and again, happy birthday, Jennifer.